Hello, yes, it's 6 o'clock. That means just one thing. It's the launch of another one-day special. Now, we've got so many goodies for you. I'm going to urge you to go straight to the website and have a look at everything because we've got incredible prices, incredible products, so much to show you. That's the best way. That's the only thing I can say at the start of the show. Go to the website and check everything out there. But in the meantime, let's have a look at some inspiration. Oh wow, what inspiration. Let's just welcome Paula here.
Hello.
Of course. Paula, you're going to be a guest.
Yes, I am.
You certainly are. Now then, it was quite an unusual start to the beginning of the show there, but seriously, we needed you to know we've got so much here that you need to sort of check everything out on the website. We've got 3 enormous bundles which are part of a pick and mix. Now, because we've got so many products during these shows, we're going to start with just one of the bundles. Now, you can get all of them at any time by going to the website, but we're going to concentrate on one particular bundle this hour. 9 o'clock tomorrow, it's going to be a completely different bundle, but as I say, right throughout the shows, as long as stocks last, you will be able to go for any of the pick and mixes. Now, it will make more sense as we go down the counter and we show you everything, but Paula, just to say thank you for being here once again. I'm so looking forward to this hour. Elizabeth Crafts.
It's a wonderful company, isn't it?
It certainly is. We're so pleased to have Elizabeth Crafts back here at Hochanda. And the flowers, these are not fancy flowers at all. All these florals, they're true to life, really, aren't they?
Indeed, they are. And I am really excited that now Elizabeth Craft Designs, the head of the company, so to speak. She has put this amazing opportunity for you at home to complete your collection or start your collection and amazing prices. What the one-day special is all about is an amazing price. I think this is probably the lowest price ever I have seen.
I think it is.
A one-day special.
I can't think of anything else. Now look at the price here. This is the one-day special. Now I'm just going to let you know that dispatch date is going to be from the 31st of October, 10 days time, just simply because of where things are coming from. But look at this for a one-day special. £9.99 is the price. You're saving £10. Item number 344298. And before I talk any more about the products themselves, I'm just going to let you know as well, and this is while stocks last. We've got a lot of these, but we think they're going to absolutely fly out. Everyone who purchases an item from the show, it needs to be a Elizabeth Crafts item. Any of the items, you're going to get one of these lovely little die sets to create. These are the most gorgeous little ladybirds. I'm just going to turn this around. Don't be fooled by the size. These are the cutest ladybirds I think I've ever seen. If I just turn back to the front there, look. They've even got their wings open. You've got one that's flying there, you've got one that's closed wings, one that's kind of part and part. So you need to be checking out your baskets, of course, and as long as stocks last, you will get one of those free with your order. We'll keep you updated on the stock levels. But back to the one-day special, Paula, because this price is just incredible.
It is incredible, and you are getting in here what you need to shape and mold those flowers. What it is amazing about this one day special, not only is the price, is the quality of these tools. Now, quality and also I have been crafting for a long time, and I have got flower shape and tools, but I have never had a couple of these ones, and they are really what make the whole difference. Now you have got, and now I'm going to start pointing out what you are getting. Reverse tweezers, which is a must, but look at the fine point that you have got. And by reverse, it means that you press down, and then can you see how you squeeze them and then
Fabulous.
And then you hold it without having to push down. That's really important. But also look at the fine finest of nibs. It's just like, it's amazing. It really needs to be like that for a lot of different techniques and makes all the difference. Now you have got the double-ended bowl tool. So you have got the medium-sized bowl tool. I'm gonna just put it there. You can see there, and then you have got the largest one in here.
Lovely.
Now then you have got this one, which is the smaller one. So then you can see that it's smaller than the medium size, obviously there.
Okay.
And then that one is the one that I would use as well to emboss card. Then we turn it around, and this is the vein creating tool. It's really, really amazing tool, and this is one of the ones that I didn't have before, and it's so much you can do with it. And then I'm gonna turn it over, and then the last tool that you are getting is a loop one. So you are getting 2 different sizes. Now to shape the flowers, this is amazing, because in one tool you have got so many possibilities, as well as that one. So not only you can shape it like this, but you also can use the lines in here to create like the veins,
yes,
but not as because this one will create very definite veins, where that one I use for more of a, you know, kind of softer veins in the flowers.
Yes.
You know, there is some.
Well, you can mark the petals, can't you, in the same way as you do leaves, to put the texture on the petals
You can,
as well.
and then of course you are getting the foam for the shaping, as well as
Fabulous.
the I think this one, which is a vein one to create the veins, and of course you are getting the tool case,
which is wonderful. It really is. These are quality tools. I have actually got a set of these myself, so I can speak from experience. They're amazing tools, and look at that price. Now we're very, very busy already. Almost 20% of the stock has already gone. Item number 344298. Of course, you're getting all 4 tools there and the foam mat in that wonderful case. Don't miss out on that, and don't forget, while stocks last, you're going to get that little ladybird die as well. So you just need to be quick with this. That's all I can say. Now we have got much more to show you, of course, because what about the flowers? Now this is where it gets really interesting. Just look at what we've got here. Now this isn't everything. Now on the counter here, we have just got a whole array of amazing flowers here. This isn't all of them. We've got 2 different pick and mix options for you. Now if you want to go for any 5, and this is why you need to go to the website to look at them all, because there's so many. For any 5, the price on the screen right now, £26.99. Look at that saving, £23 saving. If you break that down for any 5, it works out at £5.40 each, which is an absolute bargain. But hang on there, because we've got another option. If you go for any 10, each die works out at £4.30 each. And we can offer this on a flexi-buy option as well. Look at that. 2 payments of £24.49 for any 10. And these, as I say, aren't fantasy flowers. These are flowers that look real. These are flowers that have been created to look like the flowers that grow in your garden, in the hedgerows. We're talking foliage, we're talking seasonal flowers.
Yeah, I think I started showing this one because sometimes you want just a simple card, and this is what you know, this collection allows you to create beautiful, realistic flowers in here. This is one just that. Now, then you have got, look at that. Now, then you have got here the poinsettias in there, and then you have got different sizes. So, for instance, if you want to say, like, I love poinsettias, I want to make Christmas cards, then you can just go for the smaller ones and for the larger poinsettias in there as well. There is a lot. Then you have got other options, like going for more spring-like flowers. But look at that, and it's just so much, it's so simple actually to make them so realistic, because they have been designed to create perfect flowers in them. And then, you know.
Right, Paula, I've just got a little bit of an update for everybody. In fact, it's a bit of an apology and a correction. The one-day special with the tool set, don't worry, the price is right. What you're getting is the tools and the case. You're not getting the piece of foam that we had on the pack shop there. We do apologise for that, but it's still an absolute bargain. So all 4 tools in the case, but you're not getting the foam mat with them. Item number 344298. Just wanted to clear that up before we go any further. Sorry, Paula.
Yeah. Right, so for instance, there is the fuchsia. So look at that as well, the fuchsia in there as well. Look Look at that, how gorgeous. So there is a lot of different ways of incorporating these gorgeous flowers. You don't have to create them into everything. It's something like you can then add into your creations. Like you don't have to create a elaborate flowers if you don't want to. You can do them very simple. But look at that, then if you go for, obviously because of the bundles that allows you, then you can start mixing and matching. If you are a garden expert, the green fingers, and you know which flowers go with which greenery, then you can do that. If you're like me, I love flowers, but I want to make them realistically, but I don't know which ones are winter. I don't mind, if I mix winter or spring, but you can, because you have got proper horticultural, I would say it's not been certified horticulture, but it is done based on flowers and real flowers.
I think though with the pick and mix, especially going for the 10, if you think about it, you can afford to go for various flowers from all seasons and foliage in there as well, so you've got that opportunity to mix. Of course you have got two options. It's a choice of 10 or a choice of 5, but the 10 is where the biggest saving is, and we are very, very busy. Now, just a reminder, we've got so much out here on the counter, but this isn't all of it. This is just one selection. You will find everything on the website. In fact, we're going to take you over there right now, because just have a look at this. Now then, what I need to explain as well, the prices will vary slightly between the different selections. Depending on the intricacy of the designs, depends on the price. But the pick and mix with any 10, this is where it gets interesting, because even if you're looking at the more intricate designs, and by that I'm meaning, when you break it down, you've got more metal in the dies, so the flowers are more intricate, but even so, with the bundle that is the dearest one, the individual price, if you're going for a 10 in a pick and mix, I'm going to give you the price individually. For the dearest one, for bundle 1, this isn't the dearest one yet, this is £4.90 each if you're going for 10. So this is bundle 1, this is the one that we've got out on the counter at the moment, I believe. If you're going for bundle 2, now we're going a little bit further through, a little bit more intricately, and more metal in the dies as well. So selection number 2, we'll try and get you there in a little while. Of course, these are all on the website. It's the same options. You can go for any 5 or any 10. Now, if you're going for any 10 of selection number 2, it works out at £6 per die. And then selection number 3, this is where they're the most intricate. Again, if you're going for any 10, you can see the price there. It's just £6.90 per die. What amazing value. Look how beautiful these are as well. This is why I urge you to go to the website at the start of the show. There's so much to see, and obviously you'll need to choose. And I would recommend, if you've got a pen and paper, if there's something you see as we're going through the shows, jot it down, because if you need to ring the call centre or you forget or you want to find something quickly, the best way is to jot everything down. Now, I can tell you we're extremely busy. There are 5-minute queues on the phones at the moment, extremely busy. Quickest and easiest way is to go to the website, but we do want you to watch as well. And don't forget, we're showing you selection number 1 during this hour, but you can go for any of the selections at any time as long as stocks last. Right, Paula, are we ready for the first demonstration?
So I'm going to do the cornflower because that's
Beautiful.
one of, it's quite different, isn't it? It's just not, it's a blues. So, and also I kind of think it looks like a Christmas snowflake. So I'm going to, this is one of the samples that they have sent. You can see, look at that. You can see all the gorgeous flowers in there, and how realistic, look at that in there. Now, these ones, some of the leafy is from other sets, so this is why it's such an amazing one-day special bundles that we are bringing to you, because you have got the ability to build your own collection or to complete your collection. If you have gone in the past for other elements in the in this Susan garden, then now you can go in to complete it. Now I have got here the shapes, and this is what I kind of think that is also a lovely snowflake.
It is, isn't it? That would work really well.
So then you have got all the elements.
A great stencil there as well.
Indeed, and then you have got the 2. So now you can make it into, for instance, I'm kind of thinking, I'm gonna go in maybe for another larger one, and you can see that I'm using white paper, white card, it's slightly textured. Now there are different ways of coloring them as well, so I'm gonna go for another of the larger ones, because that's gonna make a little bit deeper, and then maybe another one.
The lovely thing about all of these, Paula, is I know that they are true to life flowers. They're all official flowers, if I can say it that way.
Yeah.
But I can see ways, especially if you're going for your pick and mixes,
Yes.
whether it's the 5 or the 10, you could make fancy flowers very easily, couldn't
exactly.
you, as well?
So this is what I mean by me personally. I am a person, I love flowers. I absolutely adore flowers. It's my favorite thing with crafting. And the real thing as well. I just love them. But one of the I'm going to put them sideways like this because it's just always better to have them that way.
Okay.
But the one thing with these dies is that it gives you a perfect sample on the front of the packaging on how to assemble it. But then you have got. Can you? But then, as you say,
the front of that, I should just popping those out actually. You can even see the little ladybird that's the freebie as well.
And now I kind of wanted to mention one thing, one top tip. With these ones, what I've done is envelopes, glue them together, open them on the top, and this is where I'm going to put the dies in. And then keep them in here, and then put them on the packaging like so.
That's a good idea.
So put them in here and then keep them in here like that. So don't throw away the packaging.
No.
And then you have got an envelope in there that will keep them all together.
Wonderful.
Now, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull them apart. And as you can see, I'm not being that careful at all with the elements, because the more shape that you are going to get, you know, the more shaping then it helps. Now I'm going to follow the lighter one on the outside and the darker on the inside.
Okay.
So I'm going to go with alcohol markers because that is, for me, one of the quickest. Now that is a little bit too light, so I'm going to go for a darker one. And
of course, if you haven't got alcohol markers, you can use various other items. You can choose your inks. Or, do you know, that was interesting that Nikki did earlier as well, using liquid pearls and watering it down.
Yes, but for me, alcohol markers is one of the easiest ways because it has got a broad shape, broad nib, and then distress ink pads as well work really well, or just paper that is colored. But by doing it, coloring your own, you create automatically more intense colors, more darker colors, and things like this. So it is a kind of an easy way of coloring them quickly and easily. Now, so you can see how, you know, I'm not careful at all how I'm coloring them, because that's the nature of the flowers. It's just the way that you are doing it. So I'm just going to do that, and you can see that I have die cut just one of each plus 2 of the largest of the dies in there.
Okay.
And then.
And what weight of card was it you used, Paula?
This is, I think this one is 80 pounds, so it's about 215 or 16.
Lovely. So ideal weight for die cutting.
Yeah,
then.
exactly. So something that is not too thick, that you cannot mold. You have used paper in the past, but sometimes you don't, you know, just want a little more shape. So you have got here, you can see. I mean, isn't that also lovely snowflakes in there that you have got in here? Now the darker ones, the center ones, are going to be a little bit darker. So I'm going to go in with more of the darker one. So, and as I said, if you are more of a gardener and you know exactly the perfect tone, then by all means do that.
Of course.
You know, it's just like, I'm more of a, you know, wish for the best, put the plant. But look at that, how it's starting to.
I can see how it's starting to build.
And the other thing I love is that no matter what coloring mediums you have got at home, you can use it. So if you have got water base, use those ones. If you have got lots of bits of cards of different colors, then do that. I'm going to show you how I've done as well. I have got some green already die cut in there.
I love the fact that you get the leaves and the stalks and the foliage in a lot of them as well.
Yeah.
There are other elements as well. I've noticed a little bird. I've seen a candle. So do take your time to go to the website and have a look at all of the options there.
Okay.
Now the details for the toolkit is going to stay at the bottom of the screen. I think the majority of the time during the show, during this hour, and probably the other hours as well, because it's very, very busy. So the details there, if you lose sight of that, 344298, just £9.99. You're saving £10 on this toolkit. and it is made of steel. It's such a good quality set, all in that lovely little case, of course, which keeps it nice and neat and tidy.
Right, so I'm colouring in the last bit is the, is it called a crown, this, the centre of it?
I don't know on a cornflower, to be honest with you.
Okay, so then I'm going to take my tools. Now, here is when you can go really very specific and kind of, like there are really, okay, so there are videos on tutorials online how to make almost every flower. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the tool case to push.
Instead of a piece of foam.
Yeah, so
wonderful.
you can do however you want it to do.
We're very busy on these. In fact, we only launched at 6 o'clock. We're over a third of the stock gone. We had huge stocks of this as well. Don't forget, everybody, while stocks last, is going to get that free ladybird die as well, as long as you check your baskets out, of course, and purchased from the show, one of Elizabeth Craft's dies. Or tool set, whatever you go for, as long as it's from the show.
Right, so what I've done is shape the elements in there, the little with the medium one. Now I tend to go, I kind of like to go from the back with the bigger balls and then go in with the smaller ones.
I see.
To mark them. Now, everybody's different. I don't know how you do it. I always have done it like this, and I find that I get the most better results. Now, to be more specific, to add more, even more that element of shaping to the petals. Now you can go with the loopy tool and see how I can use the end, the whole thing in
it's
here.
not going to pierce it, is it? Because it has got that nice rounded loop on it.
So then you can create more of a kind of indentations in there, the tiniest little things that make it so realistic, and then just kind of go into the edge to create those curls, the tiniest, the minute, that is what nature, you know, every time is going to be different. And then you can go in as well. So see, I kind of turn it around and then go like this, and then go in with a larger tool, then shape it a bit. See how it kind of comes in to it?
It does, doesn't it?
And then just kind of bring it in.
Is that the trick then? If you want something to curl upwards, come from the tip of the petal into the centre?
Yes,
more?
I would say that that's the right way. But then, now see, I even, sometimes what I do is I shape just the top. When I'm doing more fantasy flowers, I would just shape the top one and then put it on top. But to be more realistic, you want to do the other way as well, the second one as well. So, oh, sorry, I didn't. Yeah. I didn't realize which one was the right way. Now, can you see how one of the reasons I love alcohol markers is automatically when it dries, it will create, depending what I have been a little bit more into it, it automatically creates that without...
Which is a very natural look, isn't it?
It is. So that is why I like my alcohol markers to color them. But by all means, use whatever you have got at home. Distress inks are something that most people will have as well at home and will find it really helpful as well. See, you mix and match. You start. I prefer to start with the ball tool.
Okay, I think you're right though. Just find what's comfortable to you. Have a go with the different tools. Have a play with them and see what you find is most comfortable. And I think probably one important thing maybe to say, Paula, is don't be frightened of it. Because as long as you've got something underneath, you can see you're putting a lot of pressure on there. But something that's achievable by everybody, but it's not tearing, it's not distorting, it's just shaping beautifully.
Now, if you wanted to add more vein detail, you can use the vein, tool as well. But kind of, I prefer it for a flower just to keep it simple.
Okay.
Now
that tool's great for your leaves, though, isn't it?
It is. It is.
Really put some detail in.
It is. And now, even if you turn a little bit like this, that's absolutely fine. And then we can just can you see how it's starting to take place like this? And then there you have it. So now I'm going to take another, you know what, I just don't think even it needs it. It's just kind of shaping like this. And you can see how it's just such a lovely flower.
It looks like a nice open flower, and you've not got the centre in yet.
No, exactly.
When you put that in there.
So see how easily, and you can start. Now I tend to go in with the largest ball in there as well, and then kind of go in like this. And this one I'm going to just keep it a little bit like so. I'm not going to do too much detail onto the leaves, but if I wanted, you can go in there and kind of blend them a little bit, not blend them, pinch them, shape them to pressing down. I don't know exactly.
I think it depends how realistic you want them and the time you've got. Maybe if you want a quick card, then there's nothing wrong with keeping them quite flat.
Yeah,
They're still going to be beautiful.
exactly.
If you want to be very intricate with them, if you want to build up a nice bouquet, maybe for a wedding spray or something like that, perhaps you know somebody who's getting married and they've got a particular flower, you could find that. I'm sure there's so many to choose from that you would find everything that you need. And the foliage as well, of course. We've got berries in there, we've got something for all seasons. In fact, just a reminder, you've got different options here. Now, the selection that we've got out on the counter is selection number 1. There are 3 selections altogether. Number 1 is the one that we're focusing on during this hour and the ones that we've got out, but you can go for any of them at any time. Now, we're giving you a choice of any 5 as one of the options. Details on the screen right now. You're saving £23 on the usual price, just $26.99 for any 5. Or if you want to go for any 10, this is where the biggest saving is. Any 10, just think of it, you can go for flowers for all seasons and the foliage, maybe go for the birds as well. In fact, if you're going for any 10, it works out at just £4.90 each. Look at that, and a flexi-buy as well, 2 payments of £24.49. So just remember, you know, any 10 of these, you can have these shipped to you after 1 payment, postage and packaging if it applies, of course, and you can be making your flowers in not too long a time. There's just that little bit of time to wait for dispatch date because of where everything is coming from. But you know, this is a great opportunity to add to your collection if you've already got some of Elizabeth Cross Flowers dies, or if you've seen them for the first time, it's a great way to start collecting. 854518 is the item number for selection number 1.
Now, I'm just gonna glue all the elements together. So I always start with the most shaped on the very top in here. So that kind of gonna give it a little bit of element there.
You see, I would use that for winter. I would add a little bit of frost or snow to that. I think in the colour that you've chosen there, that is screaming winter at me. It doesn't have to be a cornflower, it doesn't have to be a summer flower, it can be whatever you want it to be. Yeah. That is a really pretty colour.
It is. And then gonna get in there and then just gonna put a little bit, okay, just see. And then what I've done here, while you, I don't know if I was kind of concentrating, but what I've done is use my loop tool to kind of curl it.
Ah, so it gives it a sort of a head start, doesn't
and
it?
then kind of go in with a little bit of glue in here. And then this is where the tweezers also come around. So, you know, you can just turn it. Can you see how fine it is?
Those tweezers are amazing, aren't they?
And then just turn it there and there. And then you create that little detail in here into there.
It's
and
all
you can roll
about the detail, isn't it?
It is. And then just kind of put it in there and let it dry. Of course, I use wet glue to look at that.
That is
gorgeous.
so pretty.
Now, to create the leaves, we have already die cut them out of green. Now, in here, you can just have that. So if you have got, let me see what you can do, shade them a little bit again with alcohol markers. And I know I'm going to, but that kind of gives it a little bit of an edge. But if you wanted to alcohol, distress inks as well, that would be quite good. But I'm going to just add a little bit in there. See, kind of, can you see that little shading?
Do you know, it does make a difference, doesn't it? It makes it look more 3D.
It does. And then just going to put it in here.
I love the fact that you've got the shape at the top of the stalk there as well to place the flower head.
And then also the tweezers are so good because they're so fine in there that you can go in.
Look at that.
Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Now, what you do with the leaf is then what you want to do is, you know, just follow what the pattern is in here. Okay. So in here, I'm going to go in again with my alcohol markers. I'm going to go in a little bit on the edge. And I'm going to hopefully try to show you with different mediums as well. They're gonna, for instance, the pan pastels as well, they're quite good as well. Or distress the distress inks, but see, kind of blend it in. But I know a lot of you have got alcohol markers, and a lot of you might think, well, I don't have them, how can I use them? And it's like, well, there is here a way of using them.
And the nice thing about this, you don't have to be, again, something we say a lot, there's so many people that are frightened of using pens and inks and things, they think they can't colour. You don't have to think about it at all. Just go over the whole thing and then maybe catch those edges in as Paula did there.
So now, if I put it in here, can you see how I'm just going one way like this, just following the art, and then just kind of following those lines in here. Can you see? And that creates the...
So you don't even need the mat for that then?
No,
you can just mark
actually,
it without.
you can that without it. Now, actually, I like to create the veins first.
Okay.
So then go in with the no, sorry, not that one. What is the loopy one? And then create just those edges in here. Because what happens is that the veins kind of disappear sometimes when it goes.
Yeah.
So if I have gone too heavy-handed and it reached the bottom, by doing this, it will make them a little bit fainter.
Which is more realistic. It's the same way with your sugar craft, and when we do the clay flowers, you put the veining on first, then soften the edges of the petals and the leaves.
And then the other thing I like to do...
Oh, look how that's folded along that line.
Yeah, so then you can just kind of do a little bit more of those little lines in there. So it's kind of that having that little fine.
No,
there,
that
can
makes
you
a
see?
difference.
And you create all those little ridges.
Fabulous set of tools these are.
They are. You know, these tools are such a good quality. I cannot believe we have them for that price, because it's just. And then gonna do. Okay, and then just gonna put that. Well, actually, that's sorry. I just put in them the wrong way. Down.
Just coming out from under the flower head. That is beautiful.
I'm going to do the next flower. Do you want to do it?
Yeah, we're just going to go to a video as we get ready for the next demonstration, and we'll show you some more inspiration. Watch this. Wow, what inspiration. These are just incredible, aren't they? I do apologise for the reindeer at the start of the video there. I don't quite know what happened. They just sneaked in. Now then, of course, it is about Elizabeth Crafts here. Elizabeth Craft Designs. You've got Susan's Garden Notes here. We're offering you 2 different pick and mixes. We've got such an enormous amount of stock that we've split this down into 3 different selections. We're looking at selection number 1 on the counter during this hour. 9 o'clock tomorrow, we're going to look at another selection, but you can get any of them at any time. So do go to the website and, you know, take the time to have a really good look around. Now, just looking at the packaging here, you can see how realistic these actually are. These aren't fancy flowers. They're made to look like real flowers. So the amount of petals, the way they've been coloured, you know, the amount of leaves that have been applied into the packaging as well. Of course, you can extend on that. You can make whole bouquets. But what I really, really love, it's not just about your florals. You've got foliage in there. You've got berries in there. We've even got a little bird. We've got a candle in there as well. So there are different elements to suit different seasons. Now what we're looking at there, the details on the screen, is for our selection of choose any 5 within a pick and mix. Now we've got 2 selections, as I said. Choose any 5 is the first one. A great saving of £22 there, but you can also go for choose any 10. This is where your biggest saving is. For this particular selection, if you break it down per die, it works out at just £4.90 each. There's that candle look. We've got the poinsettia and the foliage in there as well. Look at that. Aren't they just beautiful? Absolutely stunning. They really, really are. And remember, I can't say this enough because I don't want you to miss out on anything. This is just selection number 1 that we're showing you on the counter now. Selection number 2, slightly different price range because there's more metal in the dies, are a little bit more intricate. And then selection number 3, it goes up a notch again. So the more we see, the more intricate things get. So you can go for one of each if you want. You can go for a selection from each one, selection number 1, 2 and 3. Now I'm just going to show you a few more samples. Now I'm not sure which everyone has come from. Some might be from selection 1, some might be from other selections, but I want you to be able to see just what you can get here. Now look at that, the beautiful berries. the foliage in there, the flowers. If you're thinking about Christmas or autumn or something seasonal, how about these? These really caught my eye. I just had to pull these from the back of the counter there. How beautiful are these? Depending on how you colour them up as well, you know, using your coloured papers, using your alcohol pens as Paula did, or using your inks or whatever medium you want to, you can make the most beautiful, beautiful, stunning arrangements. Look at that, isn't that glorious? So something like a rose, you know, we've seen autumn, we've seen winter, we've seen spring, we've got summer in there as well. Absolutely stunning. There you go. Choose any 10 from selection 1. 2 payments of £24.49 if you want to take that flexi-buy option. 854518 is the item number. Now then, it's very, very busy out there. You can go to the website at any time, as I say. That is the quickest and easiest way to shop. We will keep you posted on the freebie as well, because everybody who's purchasing an item from the show, from Elizabeth Crafts, you will get the free Ladybird die as long as stocks last. We'll keep you updated. We've got a lot of them, but we're having such a busy show already. The stock is just flying. Now, something that is absolutely flying out the doors is the one-day special. It's the tool set. I'm with Paula on this one. I don't think I've ever seen a one-day special for quite such a low price point. £9.99. This is a fantastic little kit. Now I am just going to pick them out one by one again and just show you what you're actually getting, because you have got the various different tools. So this one here that I'm holding, first of all, we're starting with one of the smaller little ball tools. You can use this as an embossing tool as well, but you've also got the veiner on the end there. That would be great for weeding out as well. Maybe if you've got your machines and you want to weed out. I'm just going to turn that around so you can see that one. There you can see. Look at that. A really handy little tool. That's just one of them. Remember, these are all double-ended. Then we've got our larger ball tool, so the medium and the large. So you've got a tool on each end again. These are made of steel. They're really substantial. They're great weight to work with. You can feel the quality by the weight. They're not sort of plastic handles. You haven't got joints that are going to break. They are going to, you know, these are going to last. These are quality items. That's ball tool, largest and medium on that tool. And then that very, very handy, what Paula calls the loopy tool. This is really, really useful. So for putting kind of the veins in the petals and the leaves as well, adding texture to the petals in particular, this is really, really useful for. You've got one end there and a slightly smaller end at the other end, I think, there as well. You've got 2 different sizes. So that's your loopy tool, as we're going to call it. And then, of course, you've got your tweezers. In fact, they're not tweezers. These are the ones that are reverse tweezers. So there you can see, look how fine. Just look how fine these are. I just let those close and turn that around. That very, very fine point there. And you've got the little protective cap. All these arrive in a case, all beautifully contained within that little case. And you can see that Paula was using that to actually shape the flowers on as well, the flowers and leaves. Got that emblem on there as well. Just makes it very special. £9.99, that's all it is. 344298 is the item number, and you are saving £10. We're extremely busy on that. Now let's just pop over to the website again, where you can see everything. Selection 1, Selection 2 and Selection 3 are all there. So spend your time looking. Just see which ones appeal to you most, but of course you can go for more than one option if you like. The value is in the pick and mix any 10, but also if if money's a little bit harder to come by at the moment, then your selection of 5, you're still going to get a really lovely selection of flowers and foliage there, aren't you? Just wonderful. You can see 5-star reviews on those tools as well. Amazing.
Well,
that's so pretty.
Well, I wanted to do. I mean, I'm not going to assemble just there because I don't know what I'm going to do with them. But in terms of, because I think they are so beautiful. This is the kind of thing that I would do. Is assemble the flowers and then have like a garden, a florist shop of assembled paper flowers. So this is one of the items from the 3rd bundle, the third pick and mix. So it's the oval one, I think. I can't tell you exactly. And there is a circle one. This one is the wreath oval.
Can I just
so that's
that there, Paula?
that you can see.
Look at this.
So
isn't that beautiful?
See what I mean by having bits and pieces that then you can layer them depending on the occasion. Because this is one of those things that you can die cut out of different color card or white card and then just do, leaf foliage. Then just do flowers. And then you can just make a bouquet of
Do you know,
them.
it's so worth looking at the front of the packaging on each item as well, because obviously this is the die for the wreath there. But if you look at the flowers that have been used with it on the packaging there, then that might be a good guide. If you're having trouble, you know, you're spoilt for choice, you're thinking, oh, I want them all, but I can't have them all, I've got to go for 5 or 10. Then, do you know, if you want to go for daffodils, you're going to find them. If you want to go for pansies, you're going to find them. But take inspiration from the packaging as well. Absolutely beautiful.
Right.
We'll see if we can verify exactly
Yeah,
which.
I
You think that's
in
from
my
selection
pack.
3?
Well, do you know what? In my pack that was given, that was in, but it might be option 2. Don't know what says this.
This is why it's well worth having a note paper and a pencil or a pen. If you see something or you hear something mentioned that you like and we give you the name, jot it down. So if you're watching the demonstrations, you can go in and find it, you know, maybe when you've got the kettle on, waiting for it to boil, then have a bit of a peruse around the website then.
Now, this is the hawthorn berries. I don't know how you pronounce it.
That is the hawthorn berries,
So I don't know how I can pronounce it there, but it has got this etchings in here. So depending what like cutting machine you are using, if you're using a rubber mat, that will automatically do.
Do you know this is in the first selection?
Yes, it is. The ones the only one that I did I'm going to be using today, that is today or this hour, which is in the third one, which I thought I mentioned it was on the third one. But
so that one there is in option 3. Remember the selection 1, selection 2, selection 3. The price depends on the intricacy and the amount of metals in each die. So everything apart from that wreath, Paula's using from selection 1, which we're mainly focusing on throughout this hour.
So if you don't have, like I don't have here, a rubber mat to use with you can go in with the embossing tool, so on the one day special, and that will give you a little bit of the markings in there, so that you will have a guide. Now see, this is why these tools are so handy to have. Now by doing that, you don't have to be that careful, but that what it means is also it will shape a little bit. Okay. So that's a starting point. Then you can go in with your leaf tool, and then just go in and do it deeper in there.
Right, so you're using the lines that you've picked up there as a guideline, really, and then you can accentuate.
Yeah, you can do that. Now, what I'm doing this time is I have done them.
Die.
It is a beautiful. Now, what I'm looking at it is like kind of, oh, how can I do it, you know, more realistic? Now, I can go in with water brushes as well. So certain water brushes will, so you can add a little bit more, you know, a little bit more warmth in there, or just kind of put it in there.
And it is so worth putting those extra colours in, because it does, you know, it really does make everything look more realistic.
I'm not worried too much about the berries, and I just kind of go into the leaves in there with just a little bit of yellow in there. And then the berries, you can always do them with a... Now you can also go with pan pastels or something like this to mix. So you can mix your mediums in like that. Can you see that? And then you just blend them in. Can you see how they suddenly become much more realistic? It's up to you. Or you can go in with the distressed inks as well. So you can go in. I
should imagine sort of the artist pastels would work, you know, the stick foam ones as well.
So you can go in. I mean, kind of, you can see in that it's not necessarily, it's just a guideline that how they're going to end up looking. But see how they're suddenly, from going this way to suddenly having all those tones in there, you can see the yellows, and blend them in. The important thing is to blend those colors in. So I'm mixing and matching with the mediums. I'm not too, you know, there are certain people that go like, oh, if you're using an alcohol marker, then it has to be all alcohol marker. Well, yes, alcohol markers will blend with alcohol markers to create the perfect blend. Yeah. But there is no way that you cannot layer them once that they have dried, once that they are set, then you can add a little bit more. Okay. Right, so you can see that I have done that. Now I want to...
Love the variation of colour there.
Now I can go in with the pastel as well to create the shade, the colour of the trunk. Not trunk, no. Is that sort of branch? Branch.
Stem.
See, now I'm not shaping this at all, and already if I put it into a card, it's just lovely. But of course, if you shape it a little bit more with the one day special, then you have got more of it. So I'm going to take the tool case and then going to go in. And again, I'm going to go in with the largest tool, which is probably sacrilege, because, but is this going to...
Oh, we're so busy, Paula. Almost half of the one-day special stock is now gone. Of course, this is a launch show. Details coming in again. Phone lines are still busy. This is a great price. I don't think we're ever going to see this back at this price again. £9.99 is all you need to pay. £10 savings, so essentially half price. 344298 is the item number. Just amazing. And I can't say how much. To reiterate, these are quality. They really, really are quality. I love the fact that they're all steel. You haven't got any joins in the handles or the stems, so there's no breaking points there. They're really, really substantial tools.
Now, what I'm doing is like I'm mixing and matching the tools in terms of what I'm doing with everything, because I find it that there are the right way to do it, and if you wanted to so for instance, if you, as I said, there are tutorials on how to do everything proper, but personally, for me, it's all about the discovery of how I like it, what I like to use, and how to shape them, and then twist the you know, kind of the little techniques like these.
I think this bit is so worthwhile doing because it makes such a difference, and it's
does.
just one little tweak in the odd area.
Yeah, and then it's just. But see, for instance, now I kind of go in and I'm kind of thinking, oh, but those look very die-cut, you know, and then I kind of go in. And then I can go in with the tool as well, with the loopy one. And that's one of my favorites, to just create, to make those ends of the leaves more shaped, if you know what I mean.
Beautiful.
And
do you know, because you've got that pick and mix, especially if you're going for the 10 different flowers, or you've got to have some foliage in there, I think. You know, you do get leaves and you get certain foliage in certain sets, but do pay attention. Maybe if you want to add some berries or something like that. Think about your bouquets that you get from the florist or even from the supermarket. You usually find, don't you, you've got berries or some sort of foliage in there as well to build up those sprays. You're going to have so much fun just playing with these, aren't you, and trying different things out. Now we're looking here on the screen at options for selection number 1. That's the ones we've got on the counter that we're focusing on more during this hour. This is just one of the selections. Wow, look what you've got here. You've got so many beautiful flowers. Oh, the fuchsia is one of my favourites. It's also one of Katie's, our producers, as well. I honestly can't pick. I really like the hawthorn berries that Paula's working with at the minute, and I think I'd have to have the poinsettias in there as well. Look, you've got the garden watering can, so think about building up those beautiful displays with your flowers inside a watering can. We've got a tin milk can in there as well. That's where your garden birds are. Look, a fruit crate as well. Just think about, you know, especially, as again, I can't say it enough, 10 flowers. Go for some, what I would class as props, so to speak. So the crate, the tin can, the watering can. Go for something like that, because you can mix those flowers around, put your foliage in there as well, and really play with these and create some beautiful, beautiful displays. Phone line's still very busy. Quickest and easiest way is to go to that website. As I say, keep a pen and paper handy as well. As you watch the demonstrations with Paula, note down anything that you've seen that you think, actually, I really like the look of that, but I'm not sure yet. Let me make a note of what I've seen that I really like, and then it will help you choose at the end.
And the prices are amazing. Can we mention how also this is, you know, it's kind of your chance to complete the collection. It's just chance to start your collection. But look at that.
Look, adding those berries, what a difference that has made. And when they dry, they're going to look
they will.
better still,
but
aren't they?
Look at that. And how quickly, even easily was that.
Absolutely beautiful.
And you know, and then again, you can just mix it and match it. So if I have a card, then I just gonna go in like this with a sentiment, Christmas sentiment, even it would work really well, or autumn. Now there is another
bit of frost, a bit of snow there.
But look at that, there is that one as well, the berries, and then just
beautiful.
It's just so simple. And of course we have done, I mean, obviously it's not the right colors, that kind of thing, but there is so much you can layer them and create those gorgeous
that is
elements.
Stunning. That is absolutely
so quick and easily. I mean, this is literally from a start to finish. You have been seeing how to create that.
I really would want to play with these. I would take centres from one die and put it into the centre of a flower and another, just to see how it looks, mix them around.
That
you really don't have to stick to seasons.
The bird, a bird to put in here. Look, a bird nest. You know, it's just, there's so much. And as I said, it's like this is the kind of perfect thing to do in your winter time. Like, you know, just build the flowers, create your all this, and then you can have them like little you know, ready to put them into your
these
creation.
would look lovely around photographs as well. Maybe you've got a photograph that's seasonal. Maybe, you know, think of autumn now. Maybe you've got the children walking in the park with the leaves around their feet. You know, you could frame that photograph with beautiful florals and foliage and berries that will suit that season and make something really special out of it. Your scrapbooking, your albums,
Yes.
everything again, it's just, it lends itself to everything, doesn't it?
And you can create a proper wreath as well.
Yeah.
So if, for instance, with this one that I have, I just don't want to create a mess because it's dry. But imagine to create, like, you know, can you see a decent size wreath? You know, just die cut several and you have a proper size wreath.
Yes.
And then, of course, you shape them and you create them like a little bit more, or you add like kind of
the other
glossy
thing
accents.
as well, Paula, I think is, I mean, we often say some die sets come with a left and a right, but
Yeah.
not all of them. And we do say, we've said it here
Yeah.
on air, I've said it myself in shows,
Yeah.
you can tell which
Yeah.
is meant to be the right side. But with something like this, because you've got the shaping tools and you can manipulate these, I think you could very easily end up with your left and
Yeah.
your right and make them look
That's
identical.
a very, very, very good point, because then you kind of go in. So that I want the wrong side, let's say. So I go in with a tool like this from the one day special, and they are using, and then that there is no telling
Yeah.
where is the right side, and then you of course you can create a.
And I love the texture cardstock that you've
Yeah.
used. So if you wanted to do that, you'd just flip your cardstock over as well, wouldn't you, for die cutting?
That would be what I would do. Now, do we have time to do a quick one, or no? Okay. Do we have time to do the quick demo?
We've got 6 minutes
All
left.
right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this one, which is called the calendula. And then what I'm going to do for this one is I'm going to go in with white. Paula, get your words in.
See, straight away again, before you've even got anything out, I'm looking here and thinking what great stencils you're going to be making again here with these as well.
A bit. Now, this one, I'm going to do it, shall I do it proper or shall I do it, okay, well, let's do it, let's do what? I'm just going to do the flower, I'm not going to do the leaf.
Okay.
But it comes with the leaf as well. And then I'm going to run it across. And then, and by the way, all these dies will fit into a standard die cutting machine. And then I'm gonna put those ones in here. Gonna take my envelope to keep them in here so they're safe, so they're not gonna mix it.
Paula.
Well, it's kind of, I knew that it would be a little bit, although I have to say, what I really like is it tells you exactly what dies they are, so not only you get interact.
That is a good point, actually.
In there, so I'm going to put them in
You
here.
could just stick that with a bit of double-sided tape to the back of there, couldn't you, as well, so it doesn't come adrift, so to speak.
Yeah, or you can write it in here, or you can, well, what I'm going to do in here, that's the other thing that these tools are very good, is that you can also use them as pokey tools, that one.
Well, that's, those tweezers are so fine, aren't
as
they?
well, that's a very good pokey tool. So I have got that in here, so I'm going to put it in there, place it in here so I don't lose it. And then, there's another one. See, this is what I'm going to put it. I'm a little bit, today I'm a little bit all over the place, but they are such a beautiful flowers. It's just intoxicating. It's the cartons. Right,
it's mesmerising to watch.
Look, it's the flowers in here. So we have got, even on white, they are really nice. But I'm going to do yellow flowers now, and then I'm going to go in with watercolors. This one is water-based one. And then you can color in. Now, what it does, the water one, is kind of, because it wets the paper, you have to be a little bit more careful.
Okay.
So you don't want to, especially this one, you don't want to manipulate it immediately. You want to wait a little bit. So then you go in, because if it soaks the center, then it becomes very weak in the center.
Yeah, I can understand that.
So what you want to do is just put the color in, like so. You don't be too careful, and then you do not manipulate it until it kind of has dried a little bit. You can dry it with a heat gun or something like that to remove a little bit.
The attention to detail with these dies is incredible, really, because I know we're going to shape them with the tools, but if you look at every individual petal, you've kind of got that tatty edge to it. It's not a rounded edge, it's not just a shape.
They are not
These
symmetrical.
are true to form, aren't they?
Yeah. they're not symmetrical, they're not computer, you know, it's generated in the sense that it's kind of replicating nature. And then what you can do in here is, what is, do I have the reddish?
Oh, I'm thinking about those, it was pink frog, wasn't it? The pollens.
Oh, yes.
Oh, wow, you could apply
now,
pollens to the centre as well.
Well, it's what you can then just do like this, but of course you can shape them. This is another way. If you want to have a different way of not necessarily using the tools in for this particular one, and you are in a rush, this is a good way. But what happens is that you still need the tools to create the veins, because obviously you can. But I'm just kind of quickly showing another way of using. So see, for instance, now I want my tweezers, because this is going to create a much better, you know, rounded like this. Can you see that I have a lot more control?
Yeah.
So if I do like this, they all look the same. Whether if I take my tweezers, then I kind of just go in and create those lines as well. Inner lines. Can you see that?
In a way, that's working in your favour now, the fact that the paper or the cardstock is still done.
Yes, exactly. So see,
that's
now
a nice
that creates that. And the more that you put it in, so if you put it, you can shape it like this.
Just think about theming a whole part or a wedding table. You know, if you have got the right florals and the foliage to go with it, all your place cards could be made. You could even make little hair accessories, couldn't you?
Yeah, you could. And then, okay, so I'm just gonna quickly finish this up. Well, trying to, okay. And then just kind of put. One of those.
Do you know, I can't believe this hour's nearly over, Paula. We're still very busy on the phone lines, as you can see. Details for the tool set, that's the one-day special. They're there at the side of the screen now. It's been extremely busy. Half of the stock has gone in the launch show. Of course, Paula's going to be back at 8 o'clock. And again in the morning as well, 9, 1 and 5 tomorrow, of course. Going to focus on different selections throughout the different shows as well. You can go for anything at any point. It's just that there's so many to choose from. We can't possibly fit them all on the counter. So we've chosen to go with selection 1 during this hour. 8 o'clock, I believe we're going with selection 2. And then in the morning, maybe it'll be selection 3 in the morning. We'll wait and see. But you can go for any of them at any point. You just need to browse and have a look on the website. Paula, we're being counted out. Why has that time gone?
Yeah.
Come back at 8 o'clock. We'll see more.